It's just really a close game either way. Even though they have 4K lead, it's such a close game, and everything can change in one team fight. So we can lose in a team. Oh, sheesh kabish. There's so many. Oh my god, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, and that's such a good pick. Oh my god, nice ult, beautiful ult. That's fucking perfect. Oh my god, I told you guys everything can change in one team fight.
Don't tell him I'm gonna win Vegas and then take a breather.
He said it, chat.
I'm very happy with how Andy played and communicated. I'm actually like.
While now, worth noting, there's something different.
My
There's
hubby!
that you might not recognize as a player on Smoke Break, because he wasn't on Smoke Break prior to this, and he is someone who is stepping in. Also, not necessarily EMEA, so stepping in a little weird. Giving a different.
And my hubby's from Europe now.
There with
Europe hubby.
Sap7, Johnny, Benko, Deathwalker.
Hey guys, welcome. We talked with the support over on Team Risk. Now let's talk with the support on Smoke Break. ELLEON standing with me. Smoke Break and coming up big time and making it to LAN as well.
He's
Short
our
time for you to
husband.
prepare, but everybody seems comfortable. Your chemistry all seems good in here. Vibes are up. Are you coming in confident? You feel prepared?
Prepared, that's an interesting word to use. But we're coming in with good vibes. I mean, we've known each other for many years, so I think
I don't know.
we could definitely, go for a run here.
For sure, and if there's one
Maybe
thing I
because
know
this is
for
the
sure
most
about you,
polemic
particularly
type
a little
thing
bit
that
of
is
time to get
happening
ready,
right
but
now,
definitely
no?
Grinder, you've had your time in. Plus, you did play a lot of Smite 2 leading up earlier on in the Founders Series LAN for sure. Now, actual plan. Have you guys watched the games today? Any of that affecting your strategy, or are you coming in just kind of locked in what you want to do?
I think we're coming in locked in on what we want to do. We have like 70 little notes worth of picks and bans, so I think we're ready.
There's a funny story there.
I guess last thing, a lot of positivity from the other side for you guys, a lot of respects from Genetic in particular. Anything you want to say towards the other side before we get started?
Good luck, have fun, and let's just have a good time. Let's just put on a show.
Awesome, love that. Let's see if they do put on a show. And back over to you, Desk.
Goal that was more last night. So
Wait, is the camera covering anything? Yeah, it's covering the... I'm just gonna move it. Where should I put myself? Here?
Picks and bans. Now, I think across the board, we've heard Bobby sing the praises of
a little bit, huh?
Honestly, I'm in the same boat. I won't lie to you. Like, I understand Team Risk has the name advantage here, I think, through and through. But when it comes down to it, you really got to make sure that you're protecting those carries. I mean, we've been talking about how Theeks is an incredible farmer.
Where is it, Chen? I didn't thought about this.
And if I'm a Zeus against a, sorry, let's count them, Sobek, Yamoja, Fenrir, even Poseidon, I'm shaking in my boots. I mean sandals, I guess, because he doesn't have boots. But
I'm gonna put the
regardless,
Christmas tree
Benko here going to get bullied out a little bit. That is one advantage that this Chalk does have over the Soul lane. Just a lot of pressure compared to poor old Sobek, who is trying his best to proxy.
Get in the heal. This is
it's not covering anything.
For Benko. Gotta play this one careful, especially with that Amaterasu kind of nearby. But for now, it's just the run around. We'll see if the Yama eventually.
What is this tournament for? So pretty much
for this run around proxy.
Go to Vegas next month actually.
So Benko will be okay.
It is next month.
It works out.
So pretty much, I think. There is 8 teams and only 6 qualify.
I think it's the first ring around the
so the bottom 6 don't qualify. Yo, is it me or the quality looks weird?
It's not me. Considering he's got the Sunder unlocked, he got 3 of them in total on the side of Smoke Break, and that just seems to be kind of the meta across the board. Sunder was actually also used there by Variety. Just got to make sure that that buff is going. But over in duo, we're getting real aggressive, real fast.
Blink forward for me. Chrome and Streak Up will go
there you
down.
Go.
First blood. Over the way of
there
Smoke Break. That's a
first
really good start
to
go up against the #1 seed and come out of the gate with a first blood and doing it that clean. Really good use of the blink too from the CERN. Not going Warriors X, going
I know, right? He's so smooth.
Start, but same kind of damage. That's for sure. Johnny and Lasbra, a little bit of a tussle. Lasbra will take the most poke, and Johnny can turn and look towards duo.
Yeah, Lasbra was kind of chilling there considering the speed was on the buff belt there. And across the board, I think both sides are now kind of at a point where it's all about contesting these middle camps. But considering that kill over on the left-hand side, that's going to be some easy pressure over for this Yamoja and Carnos. And like Bobby was saying, this is a tough matchup for the Team Risk duo lane, just not as much pressure as the
Yeah, I think in the early game it's gonna be a little bit hard for them because Emoji
in this early game when clear is so important. Jingwei,
Karen
of course,
has better
does do a bit better when it comes to that late game scaling, but across the board,
yeah, and
we
this support.
see a little
Let me
bit
show you.
as we continue to go forward through this game when it comes to this duo lane pressure, because they're gonna need a little help there.
And it's funny you mention it because that is the case for Jingwei, and through the whole Founder series, it feels like Jingwei was the go-to hyper carry ADC for the majority of it, aside from maybe Soul towards the beginning.
Yeah?
But so far today, Jingwei's been having a tough time. Vix in trouble, but not quite enough to worry about dying quite yet. So I just wonder if Jingwei will have a bit of a resurgence in this set with these two high-caliber teams, because so far it's kind of been looking like Cernanos' world, and we're living in it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he's just a great hybrid scaler, right? And I think there is just an inherent advantage when you have the hybrid.
Yeah, I think
scaler.
Sobek late game is gonna be
Kind of
crazy.
have all the options, more or less, of what you go into. And like they were talking about on the desk, I mean, Braggy's hard.
And he's good as support. Yes,
We've been
he's
seeing
the
a lot
best.
of Sunbeam Bow, which most recently got a change to give it some of that hybrid power across the board, which is just so nice when it comes to really picking those engagements. And Kern can certainly do that. And if there's a Yamoja by his side, that's going to be a very, very hard time to walk away from, especially as a Baron. I'm really concerned here for genetics on this Baron when it comes to the ultimates getting active, you know, getting stuck in between the Riptides or even the River's Rebuke could be a little bit scary for this immobile support, but we'll have to see how that goes going forward. So far, not so much pressure put on this side quite yet, but I expect to see some.
Yeah, the Walker is really good.
It's definitely a good call, especially.
That's what I'm saying. This team has so much
waiting on that speed
potential.
buff for about 5 minutes, by the way, just waiting for it to spawn to try to get some steal away for the side of Team Risk, and it works out. Gets the purple, gets the Pathfinder buff, being the yellow.
Perfect time.
Other side of the map, Variety still fighting it out with Benko on that blue, which, considering how this lane started out, the fact that they can still toss over it, pretty impressive. You got the Fenrir now. Variety taking a lot of damage. The Storm Call.
Oh,
but
so smooth.
Execute works
So
out a bit
smooth.
better. Second kill for Smokebreak.
Yeah, makes sense why we'd see Johnny go over to that side. Just a really good pick to be able to take down this Chalk nice and early. As we were talking about, Chalk does get the pressure, right? You've got kind of this seesaw of, you know, early game, late game. Chalk's got that early game. Jingwei's got the late game. So we see Johnny over here putting the pressure on this early game god. Shut him down while he's good, and then take care of the Jingwei a little bit later.
One thing I've been looking across too, and I go back to this.
Yeah.
We saw three Sunders a couple of times.
I know, right?
I don't think we
That's
saw any
hilarious.
where both sides went with the heavy Sunder route. Both teams rocking 3, so when objectives come around, keep your eyes on it. But I always think it's really interesting, and I'm curious how you feel about it too. The Sunders are one thing. Would you combine the
So what
Sunders
happened
with
is that they
one
play
team
like
where they
in
have
their own
significantly
server or
better
whatever.
objectives
I don't know how to
with
explain it.
characters, it can get
And not
interesting.
like in the common
Maybe
one.
that's the way, 'cause
So they had to
Variety, a lot of
redo
trouble.
everything.
Solo 3 over that Kraken
And
hit
I
past
guess
the
I don't know
front
what
of the
happened.
door, not Variety, so.
I guess the guy was like rush or something. Like
Definitely been
just
a
put
little bit of
anything.
the spectator lag there, and you know how we've seen some of those abilities show up. Everything's a work in progress here. It's
So they
part
play
two,
in
and as
a
you know,
special
we've been
server
getting a lot
so
of
that
features
they
in
don't have
for
ping or
this
anything.
Spectator, and we're hoping that we're really excited to show you some more coming forward. But again, I do think that this Poseidon being so new is kind of a new thing for a lot of these
Yeah,
players.
Poseidon
They
is
haven't touched Poseidon in
really good right
a
now.
couple
The
months.
damage
So
is
now that they've gotten
insane.
this
The
character
damage is insane.
back into
But
Smite
Baron
better
is
than
so
ever,
good too.
It's going to be really important to
So.
see who's adapting to these characters going forward. I think it's going to be even more important going into the Vegas land, of course. But we
That is
gotta
true,
get there
team.
first. Nice sundering to get the purple. Also trying to go here for the ultimates. Oh,
Daz got the life of the party, gets the damage onto Leon, trying to turn
He's
around.
dead.
Anything up,
There's
will
two
not
ults
find it,
there.
goes down.
Let's see what
to
happens. Oh,
Thieves,
there's
but it
4
looks
in
like
here.
Smokebreak still want the fight. They send Johnny forward. Good damage onto Genetics, who will
so
go
good.
down. Credit goes to Benko. The Ragnarok grabs somebody.
Johnny can
to
die
a
there. Be
streak.
careful.
The Aegis
Oh.
buys some time, enough time for the turnaround.
Oh, shit.
This
Run.
won't stop being chaotic
Run.
quite
This
yet.
is
Gonna
bad.
be a 3 for 2 so far. Make it a 3 for 3 at the end of all things, but I feel like Team Risk walks away looking a bit cleaner.
Yeah, that wasn't
that is
bad.
a crazy fight, by the way. We're 6 minutes in, and we've had a 5v5 on the left side of the map. Honestly, going completely even, more or less, in this trade.
That was a good trade for Risk.
Itty
For
bitty
Team
lead
Risk.
here for Smokebreak, but what I'm excited
Now they're
to see
back.
here is how we continue to push into some gold fury fights. I think
That's a
thankfully,
big problem
no
though,
team
because
got the
Baron
real
counters
distinct
Jamoja
advantage.
so
We're
bad
seeing
right
a little
now.
bit of farm on the way back for the most
let's
part,
see.
for a little bit of advantage on Team Risk side, considering they got it, you know, ahead of it just a smidge, I think, in general. But again, Johnny just being active on this right side. We saw him come over twice already. This is the third time, this time on that timer, and we know that because, I mean, Deathwalker's already got 3 kills. That sub-execute's been going crazy.
Good use of the Jotun's
Oh,
revenge.
how is he
too.
3 kills already?
Actually going around, making the passive worth, getting more value from it by getting aggressive. Speaking of items, though, I do have to point out, because for those who were on Smite Twitter so far this morning, Genetics did tweet about PBM's build, rocking the Glad Shield in support, and he said, I'm gonna bring it out, and PBM said, of course you are, and well, there it is. Glad Shield for Baron first slot, rather.
Yeah, this is still really strong.
Pretty excited about that.
Glad Shield. No nerfs to this one in CA7 quite yet. You know, it did get adjusted in CA8, but what I'm excited about is seeing the Cersei's Hexstone first over
Hello, Cersei.
ELLEON.
How you
It
doing?
is such a fun item, right? Get to go.
How's Sammy
make good,
damage?
Get to dash in, dash out, a little bit of safety, a little bit of
I
damage.
was looking at people said that it's pretty
I
good.
just love the kind of plays
Pretty
that
high.
you can do with, you know, these relatively immobile characters. Emoja does have a lot of options,
Yeah, we're
but
pulling.
she spent a lot of Omi for it. So this kind of helps her start a
We're
fight, run
pulling.
away from a fight, safety that you might need.
I'm
And
so
speaking of
scared of
running
life.
away,
Okay.
Yeah, just run away.
I'm like, I'm so
Late to
scared.
the
I
goal.
hate
Very
when
good. So great take to catch
when
up
they
to
do
Sleep. So
objective.
the first objective of the game goes the red side. And
That's
to get a
good.
Gold Fury that early on in this matchup, I feel like macro play is going to be so important in this circumstance, because that's where Team Risk has seemingly been untouchable. I think of their drafts, and I think of how they've controlled the map, and both they've just
That's very scary to
like
me.
there's nobody even close.
I have so much
yeah, you
respect
talked about it a
for
little
both
bit earlier,
teams.
but having that
Both
Kraken
names.
available for SAP is going to be humongous. Even though there are 3 Sunders, you can always go back to that classic secure of use.
I don't jinx it. I never say anything like that because I feel like I jinx things.
Pretty well. I mean,
But it's looking good. It's looking good. They're having good macro. The macro is really good too. So
how high damage those ultimates are.
I just put it together.
Those early Gold Furies, just a
I wonder
bit
who's the
off
main
mark
shot
in
caller
terms
right
of
now
knowing where the enemies were on the map was Team
Smoke
Risk for
break.
that
I don't know who's the
passive.
shot
No
caller in
contest
Risk. I
for
assume it's Genetics, but
I
I
love
don't
the
know.
callback you made to Theeks playing that Cuckoo earlier on in Founder Series, because Team Risk, it feels like every new stage of the Founder Series, a new group or player was stepping up. At times it was Theeks playing Cuckoo, Ekate. At times it was the duo lane of Streak Up and Genetics just looking completely unstoppable. I mean, there were moments where Streak Up was making a case to have the most dominant ADC in Smite 2 for a bit in Founder Series. So to see them in this circumstance, it is a tall task for Smoke Break, but we're coming up on 10 minutes, and Smoke Break has answered it thus far. Sitting on a pretty
But I don't know,
1300 gold.
just
We've
because
got
Deathwalker
kills
is
evened up,
in
but
solo
the way it
lane,
all kinda works
he
out,
can have a lot of
it's-
information to provide, you know what I'm
It's big to
saying?
be in a spot that's either even or ahead, especially.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we've got a lot of scaling damage coming out from Team Risk comp, but as was mentioned on the desk, that's really kind of all they have. When you compare these comps together, and especially since Genetics is just getting tossed around like this by the Kraken,
Really good.
and you can add one
Really
more
good.
counter to feeding the Kraken on that tracker. Yeah, so you better check that one after this game to make sure that number's gone up. But regardless, that's the kind of pressure that you can see when you've got CC.
And look what it does to Streak Up too, losing out on purple buff. And one thing we saw a lot in playoffs was teams were using the purple buff timer to drive the play around Fury. So keeping our eyes there, and of course keeping our eyes on the right-hand side. Amaterasu just went for a jungle invade, was successful. So there's been answers around the map, and that's what's kept it close. But hard not to feel like Smoke Break is just sitting in such a pretty spot, even Lazarus living in their jungle.
Just trying to find something, right? Amaterasu does scale a lot.
I have so
better
many
than
jokes
does
with
come
that.
The late game just
Look
has
up.
so much potential with that stacking attack speed, especially, and just the humongous team fight ultimate as well. That you know, does now go in a full circle around her for that full swing in the 3rd time around. So I think in general, I'm really excited to see this kind of difference in style coming out from these two. Although we are seeing Johnny go.
Yeah,
a
they
little
get
bit
called
more
up
towards
on
the facilitator nature.
her
Wouldn't be
notice.
surprised if he just continues to
What is that?
more cooldown, where we see
Scooby.
a lot
Sorry,
more
I
of
didn't
that
understand.
Useful active ability coming out from the other side.
Life of the Party combo is real good with strong damage from the Lightning Storm, but still no picks. Matter of fact, Genetics is the one in trouble who will go down. Now that gives Johnny opportunity.
Look at
A
Sonny,
jump in,
he's
a brutalize,
everywhere
a
in
bite
the
to bring him
right
back, but where's the
places.
backup
It's always in the
damage?
right places,
Surely
in the
Theeks
right
goes down.
positioning.
Surely, right? But
He
not so far.
should
Able to
die
step
there,
away,
but I don't know.
Get the chain
No.
across, and the knockout
He's
will
not there.
keep him safe.
The rotations were so
Streak
good.
Up,
Last
cosplay
minute,
as
yeah.
support gets
Yeah, he
Theeks out of
literally
there
took the flight
somehow.
yesterday.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunate there, we didn't see Lasbra actually get in range to be able to use the ultimate. No dazzling offensive over to get offensive.
Yeah, and it's like this.
Back away slowly, and honestly, they kind of need to do that. The Lasbra.
Yeah, I thought this chair was gonna be more comfy, but it's gonna whatever.
Not quite there, not quite enough damage.
Let me throw his base and then this team. I didn't see.
Start to get a little bit scary here for Team Risk with that
Either way, beats are better now. Like it used to be 200 something seconds. Now it's kind of back to Smite 1.
Smoke break. They could push this advantage even further than they've
already. They're both communicating clean.
Keep this momentum and push for this next gold fury.
They already have 3k lead though. Well, 2.5k lead.
You're just tuning in to Smite 2, just checking it out for the first time today. You get some strong minions to help you take down those objectives. So a very valuable objective to get, and usually we see teams kind of go right over
it's a must
objective if they're able to get it. And
so you cannot just go like Jingwei dash it away or something. It's a must.
But Team Risk, we've said it a couple of times, but they have the Sunders to answer. They've got the fight to answer. But again, Gold Fury being started, and it's just like before. Team Risk a little bit slow to answer, but this time they are on time. Genetics in close, cracking out. Life of the party is there. It goes to Smoke Break. Genetics will get away. So that's a second gold now.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that Baron is one of the strongest supports or does right now. Has everything that you need right now. Root, heal, CC.
They played from worse. Let's be honest with ourselves here. And they are going to get some amount of advantage here, considering just the amount of resources used to pursue that objective. A little bit of extra tower bounties there for the mid and the jungle of Team Risk, which is going to be a nice little cushion in the pocket there. We are seeing that, you know, Theeks, of course, the farmer is.
I chat if he wins
nice
today's game, I'm gonna cry. No joke.
Walk it away, though. Actually, Blink forced there.
Like no joke.
To see the reaction.
I don't think that Baron Spear was gonna kill.
So what does the Baron pot does? You can drink it and you can throw it, no?
He did just go back to base, but losing the pressure on this purple is gonna hurt.
Maybe able to get it away, actually. Strugup didn't pick it up, so yeah, looks like it goes to Echrome. Nice play to keep some farm there, too. Plus, now you've got backup. You have some help around you, so really nice play overall. Banco has rotated over to this duo side, waiting in the grass, turns, looks for Streak.
Yeah, now in Smite you can throw the potion and it makes you drunk. And a little bit of damage. Like a little Vulcan 3.
May mean that we may see another rotation over there to try and take advantage of that.
Oh, okay.
Does mean that she'll be able
That's really nice.
Nice addition. Come out, but no Kraken right now. Focus for Team Risk is on the Pyromancer, which means there's a bomb in the pocket. And that's going to be real helpful when we get to this next objective fight. Nice reaction there from the support and the solo lane, both
good ult.
Their ultimates, and to just trade.
You see, that's why Sobek is really important in this comp. Because if we just put Yamoja alone, Yamoja is pretty easy to get countered by Baron.
It's so
but
easy
to
forget how dominant
the other side.
Because you get to land, you see names like this across, you see Banco, formerly Deathwalker, you see ELLEON, you see Echrome, Johnny.
How much is the cooldown
really
on the ult?
Wow, yeah, pretty evenly matched teams, but you go back and Founders.
Oh my god, I need numbers, I need the math.
So dominant that to even see a game not just this close, but where they're this behind, we're so unaccustomed to seeing it. It keeps, every time I look up at the scoreboard, it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you say this behind, right? It's about 3K, which isn't nothing, but I mean, this is kind of impressive considering how.
Okay, the cooldown looks like it's gonna be like 70 seconds. Doesn't look that high. It's already half. 3/4, yeah. 60 seconds or something. Oh, he beats.
The beats away from Genetics to get his carry.
Oh no, it's the item.
And both sides really.
Oh, that item is so big.
Didn't even see a fight over in solo lane, but might see it on the reverse end with Lasbra and Theeks heading on over.
Yeah, interesting to use the Ragnarok there. Now you've got it down for any following fights. And so as we're talking about this difference in leads so far, while it's not a lot, again, Team Risk, we're not accustomed to seeing.
He already has
At what point when a game is close like this, where is that tipping point for us to look for of Smoke Break? Wow, they're really ahead, or yeah, this game's still too close to call. Where is that actual point?
I think he was gonna all straight up. He should have.
I think it's going to be determined around the fights around the Ancient Fury, which is not for another Fury, and then of course around the Fire Giant as well. I think realistically, both of these teams are so patient, right? And that's just the classic EU style.
I agree with Lermy.
Easy until you really bring it out around these objective fights, and I think they're generally looking to do that. But until we get to Ancient Fury, I think it's really going to be kind of the turning point after this next Gold Fury. And then Fire Giant, I think, is where they're going to play it nice and slow until they find a really good engagement. And I think, honestly, Smoke Break's going to be the one to start the fight. They've got a ton of CC, right? It's going to be pick Theeks, pick Streak, try and pick one of those carries, right? Because without either of them, it's going to be really tough for them to DPS down Fire. Of course, Lasbra will be good at having that sustained damage, especially as this Golden Blade continues to come more and more online. But they're already looking for some shenanigans here. Did get spotted out by the ward though, so nothing too crazy around this Fire quite yet.
A good call from you. You were quite on it with timing. Smoke Break
Yeah,
starting
he's
to
there.
test the waters
Oh, she was backing.
of that Fire Giant, and it could be the true breaking point of this game. Builds are coming along nicely. Both ADCs this time going Fatalis. It's been a talking point we've had so far today, where ADCs have been going different paths on their builds and what they're bringing out, but both rocking Fatalis. That means they both have that ability to chase somebody down, to kind of kite through a fight, which we've seen be really important, especially recently.
Yeah, the question for me becomes, which carry is easier to kill? Normally I'd say Zeus, but Zeus has picked up the Talisman of Purification for himself, which honestly, smart pickup considering it's still got quite a lot of cooldown on it. And, you know, a nice bit of...
for Team Risk, by the way.
Yeah, a nice bit of cooldown, as well as that CC immunity as you talked about. And 4 of them is just kind of crazy if you ask me, but they really
No, another Gold Fury is gonna be free.
Are
they gonna try to mirror it? Hell no. They cannot mirror it. So easy, so fast.
Team Risk. For Smoke Break, speaking of getting paid off, they are being paid dividends from these Gold Furies. It's their third one, for the most part, uncontested. And it's grown now to a decent lead. It could be more, because while Team Risk
should be a captain, no?
made massive contests for objectives, in doing so, you never give that kind of +1 to Smoke Break when they grab an objective. There's never they get Gold Fury and 2 kills, because Team Risk failed to steal it.
Exactly. I think the realization here is that Team Risk doesn't need to fight over these objectives.
I don't think they're gonna try to defend that shit.
The farm from the other side of the
Maybe they tried to steal, but not defend.
I think there is some amount of discussion
not worth it.
had around that to say, we're not giving them kills, and we're getting our own amount of farm, and we can play in a deficit. That's totally chill. We've got these hyper carries in the jungle.
Yeah, they're farming really good. They're farming really good.
To a certain extent, that we're just waiting on them to come online. The problem
like they're not getting denied that much.
It starts to get a little dicey.
Still waiting for that first
he got caught there.
Closer
Are they gonna try to kill him?
Where we might see it, especially with positioning on the map. You can see Lasbra getting pretty poked out and far away. Dazzling offensive is used, but
Minions?
Lasbra is the Deathwalker.
Oh my god, that was such a lazy back. I feel so bad for him.
4v5 favoring Smoke Break.
Can't believe Ikram stopped that thing.
For fire, or is it still just a little too
That's
early?
a big one. So now they can push me.
That is the jungler. Jungler was level 15 though, so not too scary either way, especially considering he's playing this facilitator style. But that is a beat not available to peel away.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big fight, chat.
Variety getting plucked now does mean that they might be able to go in on him.
There's a dash from Echrome. Fatalis on. Talisman used perfectly from Variety. That probably would have been the end of the chalk, but that gives opportunity.
172 cooldown, okay.
20 minutes is on the clock, and the Fire Giant
no, there's post, ult, and this ult.
The rebuke is out. The life of the party used to. Gonna be a close
no way! Of course, I hate this.
So
and now we're throwing.
They are erasing Smoke Break. That's gonna be 4 dead once the Poseidon goes down. One single Fire Giant, and it blows up in their face, and Team Risk get right back on top of the scoreboard.
Just
okay.
incredibly discipline is the name of the game here from Team Risk.
I want to rewatch it.
Losses in the early game, having that gold
I know, right? I hate
and
this.
higher and higher for Smoke Break, but it doesn't matter.
Look at the spy.
You play the objectives better. And that was just so incredibly well played. I think especially by Genetics leading the charge there. A lot of the focus from Smoke Break around that Fire Giant was, let's just burst it, let's finish it, we've got 2 Sunders. Problem is that you're ignoring how impactful this Vortex was coming out from Life of the Party, especially with the positioning. It just allowed them to get that last hit on it and then push through the rest of the fight, especially with Streak on the backhand side.
And Theeks too followed up so well with the Chain Lightning.
Absolutely. And you'll have to see everybody grouped up around the Fire Giant to be able to try and secure it, right? That's a Zeus's dream, honestly.
Yeah, and what a time to switch it too, because Ancient Fury is going to spawn soon.
Oh, and what do you know? Game's turning in the favor of Team Risk after this Fire Giant.
Yeah, they just took the lead now.
Really good for them if they're able to continue up this pressure.
That's such a good game.
Especially with this mid lane tower going down. We might see a bit further of a push depending on if Smoke Break do actually take this contest around the Ancient Fury. might be a little bit risky considering the majority of Team Risk have this Fire Giant buff. They've got a lot of actives up. By the time this Ancient Fury's up, they've got 3 Sunders. And that's going to be hard to contest.
I mean, they will have 3 Sunders.
I can't get over that last fight. It was so crazy. It was such a not dominant, but it was so...
There's so many Sunders. They try I think they could do Fire Giants just with Sunders.
What the heck? It's just a 50-50 at the end of the day. It's a risk that you have to be willing to take.
Yeah.
And now you've got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, those consequences are adding up to Tier 2 Tower now being started up by Team Risk. No answer so far from Smokebreak, just now on the way. So Tier 2 will fall, and they're keeping the Ancient Fury alive as well. We've seen this a few times. I mean, solo going to be tough. You've got a Tier 1 up as well, but you want that Ancient Fury to affect at least one Phoenix.
Exactly, and that's what they've done.
Yeah, now they're doing Gold Fury.
Here from Smokebreak to
snowballing a little bit. Are they gonna fight it? They all have ults. So.
Got spotted out. He does
come
back, and the Gold Fury goes towards Genetics.
Who goes down? The Sobexecute will
okay,
secure
okay.
at least 2. That's a big time double kill for Bingo, but you might want more than that. Ragnarok might just make it possible. Streak up, brought back, plucked away.
Let's go. That was such a high level kill
They handle 3
from Deathwalker. Deathwalker is insane. It's always fucking insane.
You got Fire Giant off of Variety, Genetics,
yeah, you can only have now beats or edges. Like you cannot have both.
That's the most important thing to look at here is that a lot of Smite and Smite 2 to as well has been driven.
Either way, they still have the lead though. They did the Gold Fury, so they need to watch out. But they're pushing and they're doing everything great. Let's do more team fights like that.
And with no Fire Giant, it gets a little
Hi,
tougher
Tyler.
How you doing? Some of those objective health bars in that regard. I do think that, you know, some characters, like even Zeus does have an attack speed buff, can contribute in some regard, but missing it on the Jingwei is going to feel real rough.
Okay.
And let's, of course, zoom out, too. It's still early.
Now we have a bomb.
Knockout land.
No Sunder.
Coming into this. Cowabunga didn't make it. Still, I feel like people are still kind of feeling the shock of
That's
that
crazy. Cowabunga didn't make it. To me, I actually thought they were gonna win Vegas.
They were untouchable.
Like all the way. That's crazy.
I
can't believe that.
I mean, they're still looking fantastic. Their plays have still been
Let's
good.
go, Andy. Thank you for being here and supporting the boy.
Perfect in the way that they were able to respond to Smokebreak. But for Smokebreak to be fighting back like this, having a lead a lot of the game, and to not be afraid to take that fight at Goldberry, it's already thrown me for a loop, and it speaks such volumes of Smokebreak for me.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a very disadvantageous fight that you're taking, and luckily enough, you know,
look, they already kind of catch up. It's already 2K instead of the 6K that was.
If the Zeus wasn't there, I can imagine that would have been a Gold Fury, a couple more kills even, but thankfully, you know, was able to pump out some damage in that fight to fight back in some regards. But like you were saying,
hey, Chad, imagine these versus again, but in Vegas.
ELLEON here. Just a completely new style of support that Smokebreak is playing with, and these
on such short notice.
Yeah, they all have the item that has like the beats thingy. I don't know the name.
You did have a little bit of a screw up around this Fire Giant.
Literally 4 of those. Jingwei has
and you don't do it again.
all the escapes in the world, so
don't do it again. Potentially a good pick here.
They just poke, so we can send him home.
Talisman online, just take some poke.
What was the news? Andy's playing right now on Smokebreak's team, and he made it to land. So if they win a couple rounds in here, he will qualify. Well, that team will qualify to Vegas, and he'll play in Vegas.
I don't know. I feel like
pretty much
kind of burning this out, daring Team Risk to take the risk might be the play.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, right? Because you really don't want to be engaging onto the Chalk or the Baron. Either of those getting plucked would be a bad deal, but good damage there from Lasbra onto Johnny is going to force the Fenrir to jump away, but we've got Life of the Party coming out, and they're trying desperately to get to that back line.
Kraken used to, nobody dead quite yet. The Rebuke's going to make it messy,
and
everybody split around, but Benko got too low and got shut down by Variety. The split continues, and Smokebreak, they've got a good pincer, but they do lose it now.
This is hard though, this is hard. This is a bad fight now.
They've got a better position on the fight. They've got
There's
CC
only one ult
onto Johnny, and they might want to pick with this, but Smokebreak, when they repositioned, they split up far enough that they're not getting chased down by anybody. Really good way to grab a pick, to deal with having a pick grab by Smokebreak.
Now remember, Chad, everything can change, and the Fire Giant dance.
Still 2 Sunders available, but 3 and a bomb on the side of Smoke Break. If they do
Hopefully now we steal it.
at this stage of the game, you are going to want to contest. Even losing Benko here, he'll be back
On
out
this
in less
boat.
than 20 seconds. And with that teleporter, if it's available for him, he'll be here soon enough. But this
What's the
Fire Giant
percentage?
is not
50%.
very tanky. They're doing a lot of damage, but Johnny is the
they
target
drop.
here in the backline. Has to
They
use
drop,
the Ragnarok to get away.
run. That was the
Just to go
point.
around the wall does force
Now they're gonna
Team
make it.
Risk to let go
They're
of
gonna do
fire.
it.
They're gonna grab the Queen Naga.
That was
which
good, that was
not
good.
insignificant. I mean, the later you get, it is a little bit less impactful because you have players who are able to tank it up, sure. But one thing we've seen be big around fire, I want to point out, when Queen Naga gets involved in these late game firefights, the Queen Naga minions keep fighting Fire Giant even if you stop it to go continue a fight. So you can see fire stay very low through a very long fight.
Oh wow.
This is a very tough place for Ikram to be. Does use the beads.
Oh, that was.
The Kraken was huge! Will it be
Murder
enough
guy.
for picks though? The rebuke
Yeah,
even
boy.
better to set it up. We were looking
Let's
at
go.
But Smoke Break was looking at
Yeah, Nerys can die too. Johnny's there, Johnny's there, Sonny's there.
For Team Risk, and it does.
It's looking bad now. It's looking bad. I'm gonna run.
Poseidon. And Smoke Break, low health bars. We'll have to
Wait, for
regroup
real,
with
T?
some wounds,
How?
but we
Why?
get the 2-1, so that
What
feels
the heck?
pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a bit of a positioning error there for Ikram. The rest of the team does come to bail him out, but
Yeah, it worked out.
unfortunately puts Snap in a pretty sticky
They're just
situation.
buying time
Does
right
get
now.
stuck,
They're just buying time.
especially tough there.
That was such a
That
good
Thief
catch,
lived
though.
for so long,
It's
but
just that week.
considering
I
that
mean,
Lasper
it's
and
always
Thief
been that
went
way.
down, I wouldn't really expect to see that either side's going to go for very much at this point. Do a little reset, come on back. One thing, though, that I do want to point out here is that it feels like we're missing a little bit of anti-heal from Smoke Break. Dealing
I
with
agree.
the Baron, dealing with the Ama and the Chuck all together
I
does
agree.
make it a little bit difficult to have those situations really work through and not really have to deal with a lot of that sustain coming through for those.
Yeah,
guys.
Fire Giant haven't
You know,
escalated
Fine
anything
Ruin,
from Smite 1 to Smite 2.
amazing on Poseidon.
Yeah, you
But I
can.
do think it would really contribute to this build here if he had gone for it, especially to keep those guys alive.
7 kill Deathwalker? Nah,
Couple
that
fun
guy's a
item
go.
choices. I see a Phoenix Feather for Leon. I see a Screeching
Oh, yeah.
Gargoyle for Genetics, which that goes insane. I love that item. We don't see it a whole lot. And those
Very
active
good
But you can
items,
tell
they
who
could
are
be
always
really big,
together.
especially the
Paz,
package for
Gem,
Wisp.
Yes,
and.
definitely. I love to
Oh my
see
God, I forgot.
how
CERN.
these
They're always
very
together.
advanced players use these active items. It's
Playing
so
together.
awesome. Coming to Smite 2 and just having all these buttons to press. I think especially
Yeah, did you see Cherry earlier with the Helm of Darkness?
crazy.
Hi,
players.
awesome
That's not even the
Milt.
buff Helm of Darkness
I'm good,
as well.
thank you.
So I love to see some
The
of
stream
these
is going
interesting,
good. We
picks
just
getting
here
played
watching the
active
boys,
items.
supporting him.
But this fight's about
Oh
to get
my
even crazier.
god.
It will indeed. Let the parties use. A talisman start getting popped. There's the gargoyle, and it sets up well. And Streak Up already deletes one of Smoke Break. They fall
They have
back. which
so
leaves Team
much
Risk group. But
damage,
look at the
though.
damage turnaround.
No
from that
way.
Poseidon.
How is-
Kraken almost kills the Jingwei, but Johnny's
There
hit
you
by
go,
the
Johnny.
Burwise is on target. Now Benko here. The Ragnarok does
Oh,
get
the turn back
back.
360? But no, they're
Genetics
so
go
bad.
down.
Zeus
He
is
hits.
so
He's able to
strong.
hits away from that. I thought for sure
Yeah.
Genetics was gonna die after he got pulled back, but Smoke Break do
Oh,
get at least the one.
I don't know.
Surprised
I
they
don't
did
know
not
how many
get
games I can watch without anxiety, bro.
But I'm saying anti.
Anti-hit.
That might have been the difference there.
And
between-
Zeus is so
between,
strong,
Genetics
it's
dying and not.
ridiculous.
This is a dangerous fight for Thix.
Okay, that's
Does have the
Aegis.
Aegis, drops the ultimate.
He has the
tries
ult.
to-
Benko
Oh
got
my
stunned
god,
in it.
he's gonna die,
Only go
bro.
down though. He gets the shield from Yemo, and that's
Oh,
gonna be enough.
nice
I thought
shield, nice
maybe
shield, nice
just
build.
that stun
So
hit.
good, bro, so
Yeah,
good.
but look who was still
Oh,
there.
no.
Lasper was still hanging out by the Pyromancer pit. Doesn't quite do enough
Okay.
damage. to
They can
one-shot
run,
that.
but the problem
So
is that they
Yeah,
have
that
4.
Riptide slow is
I
a
have
bit
4
tough
there, so
as
they're
well. Just
they
getting
might do something
a little
here.
bit of that advantage that he would have had with that bit of a surprise attack from the other side. Wrapping around does at least get them away from the Pyromancer, which, you know, again, is always helpful. You never want to be giving up these excess bombs to the other team, especially when you're trying to look for as much secure as possible. And we talked about
Yeah,
it
this
time and
game
again, but
is
I really
nuts.
think that when it
right
comes
now.
down to it, keeping track of these Sunder timers is going to be so important because they are using us in these fights for the damage onto some players. You know, that is a relevant thing that these supports and solos and jungles can bring. It's just that little bit of extra dot damage in that cone might make the difference here, especially if they're using it not on objectives and they need it. But speaking of needing it, Lasbra needed to have those beads, and thankfully he did have the Talisman of Purification to be able to get away from the...
I don't know if the Talisman of Purification is as good as I think for the game, though.
Yeah.
No talismans left for Smoke Break.
Well, you require a certain level of skill, but still.
The Sunders will be the key. We've been stuck on the right side for a while, but Ancient Fury is still up. And remember, Smoke Break have all 3 of those Gold Fury passive buffs online as well, which isn't insignificant, especially in long
Hi Rush, thank you so much for the 45 months. I don't have a lot of flex, but here it is. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Talisman is very good, yeah. It's too good, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been very excited.
You can have the ages and have it until you have both. Yeah, I didn't know Andy was playing. Hell yeah, he was called last minute yesterday. He took the fly and now we're here. How you doing, Double J? Nice to see you. Buff as shit.
As well, ladies and gentlemen. So this guy is feeling for a lot.
From all the peekable.
Feels really nice to be Baron in CA7.
It really does. Baron's been so important in the Founder Series ever since he got added.
It's just really a close game either way. Even though they have 4K lead, it's such a close game and everything can change in one team fight. So we can lose in a team. Oh, sheesh, kabish. There's so many. Oh my god, he's dead, and that's such a good pick. Oh my god, nice ult, beautiful ult. That's fucking perfect. Oh my god, I told you guys everything can change in one team fight. Now we got Fire Giant, we're gonna push the shit out of this thing. Let's go.
I mean, if Jingwei did not have the airstrike there, that was another kill down. And honestly, at 33 minutes,
oh my
if 4
goodness.
members had fallen down there, that might have been
oh my
a bit
goodness.
of a GG, but thankfully able to get out of that situation.
No, this is not GG.
I know, I was going to say, can we talk about that for a second? Crazy placement. And that's just what Yemoja brings at this level. Just insane.
Oh my god. Yo, I married that guy, bro. I married that guy. Wait, can it be GG?
Smoke break.
I actually think they can push this and win the game, but I don't know. I'm not sure because they don't have minions to push this. I think they should just go or try to pick something else.
Eyes set back onto the Titan. It looks like they want to go in and go for the end call.
Oh my god, they got him. They got him. And now this is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Titan down to a quarter. Smoke break half
the
Oh my god.
We win this shit. Oh my god.
In the late game.
Oh my god, John.
Off the back of one of the craziest.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Just insane push there coming out of Smoke Break. What seemed like a scary
wow, this is insane. Oh my god, shake it. You told me, you got it. You got it right. Sheesh, Chad.
For Smoke Break, it changed
oh
the
my
whole dynamic of that fight. Because we cut
and then the one
I love this.
asterisk, the one little butt that we always put was, yeah, but that's Team Risk, and like they haven't lost a game, so it was like, do you bet
no, it was
against
such a close game.
Force, or do you bet against, you know, the new hotness with the amazing draft? And
only way to find out, indeed. I think we're looking for the same thing. I just know I am excited to actually see a Raw. I feel like it's been kind of waiting room for one to pop up. I'm still waiting on the Cupid, of course. We'll get that eventually, I'm sure.
Oh, I can't wait.
But Team Risk, Smoke Break, game number 2. Smoke Break is up by 1. Team Risk first loss in the Founder Series happens on land. So learn me, talk about pressure on.
Yeah, I think genuinely the shift-ups, though, that we've seen to Team Risk comp have been phenomenal. I think across the board, we definitely saw Sobek going absolutely nuts in the last game. The Sobexecute, maybe the +1 of all time in Smite 2 to a character's kit. Just feeling so impactful being able to take down those tanks come that late game that getting it on your side now if your Team Risk is going to feel real nice.
And once again, if you're just joining in for game number 2, Purple Orb is Genetics and Discu, you know, I feel like I'm calling a cat over. That is SAP 7. So don't forget that. I'm sure it's pinned in the Twitch chat as well, so you keep up with it. But in game number 1, the ending of it is going to be living in my brain rent-free for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
The perfect ultimate from ELLEON. Well, game 2 had the same magic early on. First auto, that goes to Team Risk. First root as well, so some good poke out. The proxy dance also still happens over in the solo lane, so another messy start.
Yeah, this isn't quite
they
proxy.
started.
We're just seeing a straight up
Yo, earlier
invade
they started
on
like
both
10 minutes later.
corners of the map, you might say, especially onto this yellow buff
Emir.
as well, grabbing that.
I don't know how good Emir is
I
in
didn't see
general.
the Fenrir was underneath the Amaterasu.
Yeah, and that is trading out both of those buffs, it does seem, on that right-hand side. Even the back camps, greedy
Oh,
is
good
Johnny,
job.
but Lazarus
Invaded.
also able to steal away both the buffs on the other side of the map. But gonna have to contest here with Theeks is Johnny and being level 1.
Or your map,
Yeah,
kids.
I don't think I would also fight the level 2 Fenrir if I was in that position.
Yeah, a little bit frightening to be sure. I think the start meta is going to be so interesting to watch. Still a couple more sets left to go today and tons of games for the rest of this week in the knockout land. And every game so far has had some kind of variation on its start. And I feel like that's only going to continue. And, you know, going off the smoke break and looking at how the previous game started with Banco doing that proxy on Sobek, starting to feel like whoever gets that better start starts the game off in the better foot.
In the
is
back,
ending
in the
up
back,
coming out
in
on
the
top
back.
in the actual
Oh my god,
long
he got
game
caught.
itself.
Oh, that
And
might
just
go.
forced from E-Chrome, but the nice Riptide helps reposition and keep the dual lane safe as smoke break.
Yeah, that was a huge rotation there from Genetics. Also
So
catches
you guys want to
the
do
Jin Wei
predictions?
partially through the dash. Does indeed force out that extra little bit of help there from the support. But speaking of support, I'm just excited to see Ymir getting played because it's been a minute, it feels like. Ymir's been a little bit in and out of the meta. Got buffed a couple
Let's do
times, got nerfed a
predictions.
couple times. A little bit weak at this point in time, but it does seem like in this kind of composition, when you can trap a couple of these characters around that wall, especially now that you can use it to keep
Oh,
yourself
sorry, already.
safer.
Already
I'm
late.
excited to see what Genetics brings on this character.
I am as well. I do want to point out less Sunders this game. The previous one we had 6 in
I'm
total.
back to the anxiety.
Team Risk risking it. Just one singular Sunder on Variety, 2 for the side of Smoke Break. And I feel like it's interesting because Smoke Break has 2 Sunders, but they also have the Raw ultimate. And while we were talking about how good of objective secure Kraken can be, Raw is obviously always in the same discussion.
Yeah, the question is that which one is better at any given time? You got a lot more range coming out from Ra, but considerably more damage depending on the Tide Meteor if you've got that ready for Poseidon. So both directions can be good, but ooh, that was a crazy agility there from the Jingwei. Able to take that knockup from the Ymir wall and just dash around it. Another amazing +1 there for the Jingwei is that she has control in her dash now. Doesn't go in just a straight line, but whatever way your camera's facing. So
Oh,
it
that's
feels nice when
true.
you're able to
That's
kind of
true.
interact with those 2 +1s together, seeing how the characters play quite
like that.
differently in Smite 2 is always a good time.
For sure, there is so much to kind of catch up on and keep up with, and throughout the week for those, you know.
I
checking
know,
out the
right? I
first
didn't know
Smite
that.
esports,
Thank you,
we're keeping a
Larry.
loop on a lot of it, and one thing that
Larry's
I think
doing
we're
great,
so
to be
much tuning in,
honest.
Warriors X on the Cernan.
He's casting like a goo.
And for good reason. It's really good.
Yeah, the poke for Kurnos is just pretty simple across the board. Throw out that Bramble Blast, even get a stray auto in there, and you're getting some extra bit of healing. Variety wants this buff so bad, but at an unfortunate
Wait,
time,
that was lagging, though.
that is the ultimates up for
Well,
both
first
Johnny
blood.
and Benko. And guess what
I'm
that means?
surprised Variety kept stepping up.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm surprised too. I thought he was just gonna be like, oh, I
What's
give up.
not unfortunate is that Team Risk on the other side of things
That was risky
able to get that double
from Team
invade
Risk.
off once again. So it really just feels like we're trading off on timers here. They could considerably do this for the rest of the game if they want to, but I do think at some point, you know, you're gonna say, hey man, I'd like a speed buff at some point, or hey man, maybe I get a blue buff this time around. Either way, I do think that they're playing these timers very well, which means that they're generally gonna be relatively predictable where they show up next.
And that's the big thing too,
I agree.
because it's been interesting. We mentioned this a bit in game 1, but this purple buff on the order side in particular, a lot of teams use that as like almost a pseudo, all right, who's doing Gold Fury? If you have control over the purple timer, you can take advantage of getting to Gold Fury first. Smoke Break, not having any attention there, could bite them in the rear.
Tools.
Safe for the Jingwei to get away.
I
But if
got
you're
it.
putting it all on solo, it begs the question of, like you said, if you're too predictable, if you get caught going for that double invade, does that open the door for Team Risk to walk right over to Gold Fury and take it like it's nothing?
Not impossible, right? But I think that Smoke Break has
2 for 1,
had some
yeah.
really
That was really
excellent
good.
objective
Trade.
calls. I mean, ELLEON is kind of just on it. He's like, hey guys, little Gold Fury, they do it, it's done. And in the last game,
Yeah, that's
Team
Sandy.
Risk didn't really contest, especially
And
towards
he's like,
the
you
beginning
want
of the game. I
this?
mean, obviously we know
You
how the
want
game went
this?
towards the later stages, but all in all, a lot of that pressure was coming out from the calls there from the support. And oof, that was real close for Variety there.
Had to get the dash away to live, but now maybe trying to bait out, but watch
no.
over the wall. There's a jump, the Brutalize coming out. That's going to be a dead Crocodile. Variety down, but Lasper returns the favor.
Okay, that's
so
a good trade
walks
for
away
them.
with a pick. Kind of surprised how fast Lasper blew up Banco. Banco wasn't that low.
He was tanking the tower though, so a couple of those early game tower shots do tend
In my opinion, that's how a support should be played. You should be rotating all over and just making space and creating opportunities for the team.
I'm honestly a little surprised to see Sunbeam.
A lot of people get lost and just stay in the lane forever.
Criminal, we're just now getting to it. But maybe Criminal for Lasper.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We'll live through it.
One more take, one a
Not even a scratch. That's, I mean, that's 90
almost there, almost there.
But no, going back.
Yo, Johnny is the GOAT.
Definitely not.
Like this team is
so far.
crazy stacked.
There's been a few instances where
That
we've
was so
seen
close.
melee characters rock a Sunbeam bow and Founders. I think of Rat Milk using it on Thanatos at one point. But in this instance, does it have some actual, validity to it?
I don't love it. I think in your ranked games, sure, 100%, go for it. If you truly think you are that much better than the person you're playing against in lane to the point where you feel like you can get that extra bit of pressure and spiral it out of control, use the Sunbeam bow to your advantage there. I think especially considering the state of mana in Smite right now and how you're not
Andy's really good at adapting
for the Sunbeam bow.
into
So
situation,
that extra bit of
metas,
damage can
gameplay,
add up.
gods,
The problem is for
everything.
character like Amaterasu, it doesn't scale super well. It scales better on
Surprised
her
I
than
haven't
someone
seen
like
any
Chuck,
Erg.
right? But even still,
Is
gotta
Hercules
be
bad
concerned
or
about
something?
happening here with the Gold Fury.
Big call from Smoke Break. Rebuke is
Oh
out.
my god, are we gonna
Very
fucking
low,
Inter or
gonna
what?
be close. It gets stolen away by Team Risk. They get that first Gold Fury away.
I
They
told
will
you, I
lose
told you.
genetics
I feel like
for it, but,
the timing was
massive.
pretty
We
off.
talked about it. We talked about the combination, the battle of security.
the-
We heard the Raw
on the Raw.
ultimate go off, but mistimed, and
Yeah.
Smoke Break pay the price.
a little bit
That's
of.
way too early there from Sap on the ultimate. Might have just
Yeah.
tried to have gone for the kill there, which, I can appreciate a good bit of aggressive
It's
action.
okay, go
but
next.
It seemed like the call was to finish gold.
Hair
And just
cooldowns
not
are
on
kind
the
of
same
long.
page there. It felt like
That
coming
sucks.
out of Smoke
Imagine
Break.
Andy with
Them
Hercules
losing that
and
first
support
Gold
too.
Fury. Only real loss there feels like
Disgusting.
is that nice little extra gold
Yeah,
Fury
still
buff
even.
that you get. So not too bad, all things considered.
Yeah, no
At the
problem,
end
no
of the day,
problem.
the buff does
We're
help, but
chilling.
It's not going to be determining the game.
Now we know.
So as
Now we
long
know.
as they're
We
keeping
learn
even,
from mistakes.
these are mistakes that you can come back from.
I should be a caster. I should be a
I don't know.
caster.
This one's been interesting for me because I was curious if we would see Team Risk come out of the gate with a bit of a different style. I was wondering if we'd see them be more aggressive than we're used to seeing. As Bobby and Gore were talking about, they have such a high-pressure duo lane that's performed well on this very day into the combination of Yemo and Jingwei. But they're keeping with what works for them, and for that Gold Fury steal worked out, but Smoke Break were able to play this game. They were playing the slow burn and make it work, and they came out on top in game one. Do you feel like it's kind of risky running back what you know, or should they have tried something different, they being Team Risk?
I do think it's okay. I think that they are definitely switching up the style, especially with Laspra on more of this carry jungler pick, and so far so good, right? Does have a little bit of that XP lead, not by a whole lot, but enough to where it might make a difference in a couple of upcoming fights. I think the thing
Pasa que como juegan en un server diferente, tienen que volver a poner todo de una, pero no sé, le dio como... Yo no sé qué pasó ahí. No entiendo cómo no puso un nombre y puso eso. A lo mejor y estaban apurados o algo, no sé.
A patch later,
Curiosito,
sure, but still
curiosito.
works, right?
Listen, Ymir attack speed has some synergy, right? Because you get a lot of that extra damage coming out from the frostbite when you apply it with any of your abilities. You get to smack them around.
I just wanna blink and this is over and I just know the results and that's it.
Damage, but I'm gonna be
And then I can rewatch it like in peace.
More put into the attack speed. Is Genetics trying to carry this game? I don't feel like he really has to, considering he's got a hell of an impressive jungler out of this Loki for Laspra.
Ay, es verdad.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Dijeron, güey, pues ¿qué ponemos? Pues ya que, güey.
I think it's important to note.
Sí, es cierto.
Lasbra has been
No lo había notado. A lo mejor está copiado y pesado, ¿sabes? Tipo, lo que pongas ahí se pasa para allá. Pero igual no manches, ¿cómo no le dijeron algo? No le podían dar 5 minutos más, güey. That's so funny.
It still matters here, and how many times have we heard, and you've said this to me before a million times, Loki's just playing to get to one-shot territory. If you combine smart farming with that one-shot territory, you can have a lot. You might have a dead Sobek soloed. Benko finds variety. That's a tough end for Variety, having a lot of trouble in game number 2.
Deathwalker is cooking.
Sobek does indeed scale very well, but being 0-3 is a bit uncharacteristic for this historically strong solo laner. But sometimes you get put on a pick that you know, is a little bit slow in the early game, not as aggressive as you like to see. I mean, we've known Variety in the past for
I mean, to be honest, though, in my opinion, Deathwalker is one of the best of the best of the best solo laner server. Final is up there too.
Again, Sobek, incredibly powerful character. Just seems like a lot of the focus coming out from Smokebreak is in the right place.
I'm always partial to 1v9 King Arthur Variety.
Oh my god.
that's kind of where my allegiance
King Arthur
is
and Smite 2 win?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Gotta bring that back.
Yeah, it's there, to be honest. Deathwalker has always been so consistent. His gameplay is so different too, and he's really, he adapts so easy.
This time it goes to Smokebreak, and
there you go.
Ymir as well. Can they get the pick off?
He can play all the metas, he's super open-minded in that way, he can play different styles, he's really good. And that's what, in my opinion, makes a great player.
Even though they lost the first Gold Fury, can I just say, ELLEON has been on it with these calls. I mean, realistically, he's probably acting as their in-game leader, right? That's just how Leon plays, it feels like.
I wanna know, yo, chat, tomorrow I'll come back with the chismet, like, yo, who's shot calling?
That's how he's always played. And we have been, I feel like, so impressed so far. Just seeing how much of this control he's trying to take. A different team, a different support might have played that more passive, said, we can take this fight whenever we feel like it. But with the way the team Risk has been playing into it, they're just taking advantage of it.
Yo, chat, if you guys want to know something, put it in chat so I can ask and come back tomorrow with the answers.
Performances for Smokebreak that I recall. So ELLEON's doing great so far, and Smokebreak is following suit. The Ragnarok brings back Variety to the tower.
Sheesh, bro.
He gets sent 6 feet deep. That's another one for Johnny, and it's just this is a
Ladra looks kind of annoyed already.
I just see Variety instantly
Hi,
pick up the
thank you for the follow.
Bro knows he needs
tired of it.
He absolutely knows that he neades it.
He's like, can I get rid of this Sunder gang?
I'm sick of Johnny being in my lane. Get him out of here.
What do you have, Blink again, Genetic? It is tough though, because we've talked about this. You said it earlier. Seeing that stat line of Variety is out of character, and it goes against what Team Risk is able to.
I don't think Ymir is that good just because his mobility is pretty bad.
Does miss the jump, so just some poke traded out. Maybe if that stun hit the left side, some trouble for the Jing, but escapes from Plasper. So a lot of escaping kind of around the map, but there's so much posture.
Oh shit!
Seem to want to find a fight, but it hasn't reared its head quite yet. There's a Kraken.
That Kraken was kind of.
We really want this fight. If you're both of these teams in the jungle, finally there's a chance to get a pick. It's on the Ymir. The blink forward still going to get stuck and might just.
Oh, yo, that shit's tanky, no?
Will indeed.
And don't die.
Look at Lasbra hunting, but cannot get through to.
Andy on point with the passive, healing everyone.
So Lasbra just has to head out.
Yeah, he's got to walk away at this point. Not too much as Loki can do. I mean, a lot of resources have been used, but Johnny with the Ragnarok still is a little bit scary of a fight to be picking. So Lasbra more than happy to just walk away from that one. You know, it's a little bit tough here for Genetics on this Ymir. It is just a prime target to be getting picked up. Doesn't have really any true mobility to get around the Emoja walls, and of course going the blink, no talisman of purification or anything of that like to get out of the Ragnarok. Just
didn't know you said that? Didn't know you said that? He got back in a team. He got called last minute to help this team out. Let me put it in the comment. Let me put it for you here in YouTube. How you doing, Harry?
I feel like that's an important note of it.
Yeah, he's killing. That blink.
Yeah,
I thought that blink was gonna get him out, but
down 2 levels now, about a level and a half to the Fenrir, and Loki's got to get to that late game. Pyromancer certainly helped the team overall, and it looks like it should go to Team Risk. Raw doesn't seem privy, so no ultimate to come out and contest. So Pyro to the blue side, but as 15 minutes is rounding the corner, we're in a very similar spot as we were in game number 1. 3,000 gold for Smokebreak, 3,600 experience, which is considerably more scary, I'd say, and a 1-6 kill feed.
Yeah, a little bit slow on the kills, it feels like. Smokebreak has been finding a lot of really good picks, but it hasn't turned over
oh my god, yeah,
really
he's a menace right now.
Crazy multi-kill fights, right? We haven't been seeing.
He's gonna be rotating. What the hell did I use? Rotating so much is gonna annoy the hell out of people, especially the posse.
Start to see things break open once that Ancient Fury is spawned. You can already see a lot of the aggression is starting to be put on this left-hand side, and Lasper is actually pressuring out Sap here as well towards mid. I mean, we do have ELLEON there to back him up need be, but great poke here for Streak.
Turns it around, just gets some back, costs both ultimates for the ADCs, which will buy some time. Johnny is lurking.
I don't know about that.
You just want to go in the Thunder. You want to make the play happen, you've got your Mojo nearby. This has been the kind of chess match this whole game has been. It's, do I want to make this play? Do I want to just wait for the next one where maybe we have a better chance?
Honestly, they're waiting for Benko. Benko's proxying right now and is going to take the teleporter over, and that is going to be the go button unless we
look at those
see...
levels
Look at the Walker, and the Walker is already proxying wave, and it's already gonna annoy the hell out of Barry again.
The ability of for
He
him
stole
to
it?
kill.
No.
Sunder did get forced out there. For
Almost there.
Benko's now honestly done his job. One less Sunder means one less option to secure any objectives coming up.
Oh, nice Aegis, nice.
That Aegis on time.
I don't know if he's gonna
so
live it
much
though.
pop damage and will go down to Streak up.
So what was
the first
it?
kill for the CERN, the second only for Team
Aegis
Risk in
ult?
16
I mean,
minutes
double
up
ult?
to this point. Only 6 for Smoke Break, so not quite a war, but still.
It's not that good
interesting.
though.
Team Risk is so low on that. I like the call of waiting for Benko.
Gotta be careful.
And maybe it'll be soon. Currently in the mid lane, and Team Risk is already taking some damage. That raw ult's not going to find a home. Johnny tries to jump away, gets hunted down. Are you in
Oh, what a
range?
note.
Maybe
Oh, I
realizes
forgot that
Johnny
will
will stay
go through walls
alive.
now.
This has bought a lot of time.
Sheesh.
Ama's nearby, and that's enough.
I
for
agree,
Team Risk
Pierre.
to not force the fight, but Gold Fury's still up.
I mean, pretty much his game is, let me give you
Just got a little bit too
everything so you guys skill hard
no airstrike to walk
and
away
carry
from
the
that
shit
one
out of
nice and
this.
clean, and honestly, a great bait there by Genetics, trying to show a little bit
Why
of
did they do that to
aggression there, and
Selvec?
does take some
I mean,
poke
I
on
guess
that
they
side,
wanted to
takes the
switch
reset.
around or
Now it's
something.
full health, ready to contest, but the
Oh
problem
my
is
god.
that that's a lot of
Par
damage going
3.
out for Benko onto this objective.
There's the wall. Timing's got to be perfect, and it's going to be hard to get through some CC.
Oh
And
my
the
god, what a
silence
silence.
at the perfect time there.
What a
Gold
silence.
Fury goes to Smoke Break. That was
Insane. Clean,
you know,
yeah.
I was looking for something big like a
They're mirroring, they're mirroring.
Team Risk onto
Help.
fire. Down to half health. Johnny is aware and lurking, but it looks like Team Risk
Zoni.
want to commit. Johnny's had to back out because the
Shit,
Loki
they're
ultimate,
gonna-
this
they're gonna
Fire
get him.
Giant will go
They did
to
crazy good, though.
Team Risk.
That's crazy
They
good.
lose Genetics, but I feel like you take that trade.
Oh, 100%. Any day of the week, any time of the week, you are feeling good.
Where is the land?
Trade.
This
Honestly,
one is on Atlanta,
Genetics
in
sold it. I'm not gonna
Alpharetta,
lie to you.
and the
That
next
was-
one
that
is
was a
gonna
great
be
bet.
No, got me.
on
All around.
Las Vegas.
Genetics, you know, pushing up
They're
into
fighting.
that
Yeah,
game.
that's
Making
the
it
right
feel
call.
you
Like
got
Genetic
it
was
right around the
zoning,
house.
everybody was there
Is he gonna
committed,
get out? 'Cause I didn't
and
even look
they
over
just
at the
mirrored
map.
it.
I was so
Yeah.
locked in.
We
That was
were
crazy
locked
good for
in.
them.
It was a
I can't even
perfect run
imagine.
option play.
They're still kind of
That's why
behind
play
though,
actions are
but
big in football. Variety goes down to Johnny, so that
Then
continues
poor
to be a
Variety.
tough lane.
Everything
Even
a
as
tough
phase is
lane.
coming to an end. Only
Yeah.
level 14 on the Sobek compared to level 19.
That was the right play
now
from
for
them.
Benko.
Yeah, maybe that was me not giving Benko enough credit
Oh,
there.
sorry, Hoodie.
Something
And
because
he's
clearly
gonna
he's been doing
be
work
Vegas is
on
next
keeping
month.
things
If I'm not
beyond the
mistaken, it's
lane
gonna be
opponent,
like the
right? Especially the damage
like the
on objectives that
second
help
week
out a lot
of the
with
month or
crossing
something.
is
Where's the
really
bracket?
because
Tito
Opera
put it
solo
here.
leader,
Wait.
Going into those
Let me
attack
see.
speed options does scale so well, especially going into the late game with the Death Embrace. Oh my god.
Oh,
perfect
thank you.
ball.
That was perfect. I was laughing at
January
Genetics'
17,
attack
yeah,
speed.
it's like
Maybe
the
it'll
second
matter
week.
for this fight. Benko's already low. Johnny goes aggressive and is finding tons of damage into the back line. That back line is gone. Thinks is dead, but
That's
Lasper
pretty bad
did
that he
turn
died
it
though.
around.
It's pretty
What
bad
can
that the
Johnny
Walker
do
died.
as well? Lasper's still lurking. If this Loki can find the Fender, it could be
I'm his wife.
problematic,
How
but
you
the
doing,
Fender
Will?
finds the CERN first. A
I think
double
he's so good,
kill
though.
for
It's so
Johnny.
good.
Lasper can't commit anymore, and
It's
the
looking
tier
pretty
2
promising.
tower
It's
into
looking
a
like
that's gonna be gone soon.
very good
to
game.
E-Chrome, who decided to stay and split push. More great map play from Smoke Break.
Yeah, they got very lucky there. That E-Chrome was didn't need to be there for that fight. And honestly, if I'm Smoke Break, I'm trying to hunt down these players.
Yeah, what
that
a-
are
what a
allow
note.
an additional push there for E-Chrome onto that left-hand side, but playing it nice, easy, and
Yeah,
cautious
Yingwei
here,
is so
as
annoying to
always,
split push
from
versus.
Smoke
Like
Break,
you,
taking
you
it,
get ahead a
pushing
little
this
bit, but
game
she just
to
flies and
nearly
clean the way.
7.5, and this is maybe the biggest lead that we've seen in
No.
both of the games thus
Whoever
far.
loses this
One
goes
team
to the
together.
loser bracket, and you
Very,
still have a
very impressive,
chance.
I think, especially considering how we.
Oh, I was talking about this
That
game, by the
Fire
way.
Giant
But yeah,
fighter,
pretty
who-
much
Fire Giant, where
the
is
last
he
two
gone, man?
two
Just
teams
on
are gonna get out of
it's
of
crazy.
the tournament
you
out
know,
of
like,
Vegas.
One loss in total.
Thanks for pulling this
for
up.
Team
I had
Risk
no
in game
idea.
number one.
Of course. Thank
We
you
go
so
into
much
game
for
two, and I'm
watching.
thinking, oh, so, you know, first 3-game set of the day, locked in. That was my mindset, honestly. And so far, it seems like Smokebreak are just a different team. It's been really impressive to watch. I guess my question now is, they didn't have a lead like this in the previous game. It was a very close back and forth. There were times where Smokebreak was on the back foot in game number 1. Is a lead like this
I don't think he's gonna get beat though. I thought he was gonna get the item.
To get a little dangerous, right? I think the biggest points of contention here are definitely Benko on this Ama, and then over for Ikrom on this Jingwei.
Yo, that was out of
mud.
mud.
Into the late game, and especially for this Jingwei. I mean, she's got such a lead here over the Kurnonos at this point that it
Hi
really starts to
Army,
make a
welcome
difference,
back.
especially
We're
around
doing good, it's
objectives
looking good,
where the
looking
shred is
pretty
going to be
promising, and it's looking
unlocked.
like it's gonna be
I think
2-0.
if Ikrom's able to stay alive and keep the lead going,
Also
and
something
they really
to
start
say.
to push it while these leads remain, because of course there is.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like
you do get to full build
I guess it
eventually,
was
you do
really
level
meant to
20
be
eventually.
for him to be where he is right now.
Lasbra. Well, that was a
How did
warning
it-
shot.
How that didn't hit
knows
though?
what's next.
The
That
time for
was
Lasbra
crazy.
to go, the ult's committed, the blink is committed too. I mean, this is a horror movie for
didn't I allow
Lasbra.
it?
But will the final
Not even
girl
out.
live? Maybe not, because the Fatalis is proccing. How long will they chase this
Yes,
around? I mean,
bro.
the Ancient Fury is the only thing they can
Okay,
lose.
out of
Auto's
my-
hit.
Fatalis.
One more.
Out of mud doesn't let me.
Got him.
Right into the updraft.
Got him. Yep, perfect. That
Really
opens
good.
up the
Part
Ancient
4.
Fury for
Hi,
Smokebreak.
JK.
It will affect the Phoenix
looking
as
really good,
well.
JK.
The duo side one as that.
How
which
you
is
doing? How's the
massive
fam today?
for Smokebreak.
Yeah, that's gonna be big that jungler's out
It's
of
looking
commission
really
for
good
the next
for
40
them.
seconds. I think especially if Benko's able to
Yo,
keep
this
up the
this
pressure on the variety, it's choosing not to just because
tournament, all the biggest tournament has been expecting the unexpected. The teams that I thought it was gonna be like winning Vegas are out, the other ones are losing or winning or this or that. Like everything is just crazy this tournament.
Especially if we see any of those Minotaur minions
Nice to
start
see
come
you.
through, that could get a
Super
little
happy to
risky
see
to
Andy
leave
back
it
in
on
this
its own for
tournament.
too
I know,
long, and
I'm so
considering
excited,
that
I'm so
on
happy,
side,
and I'm
the
all
opposite
for it.
of where you're hoping that everyone's kind of gathering around. It gets a little scary if it's left alone for too long.
Variety sees Benko,
No.
not going to be an easy chase.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. I hope it's nothing and it's just something that, you know, that we think is bad, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? I really hope it's nothing, and he can get out of that. Sorry that happened. I hate when animals get
I
sick.
feel like in the previous game, there was what, 4?
4. Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I wanna talk about builds,
okay.
but
These
right
dance,
now,
these dance
talk
is
about Fire Giant because they
really
are pushing
scary.
at half health right now in the
But we know
objective,
that
but
luck
the
is not there,
objective
so.
is not what they're looking for anymore.
Yeah, we were only
They got
baiting.
good damage on already. The ult will connect with Streak. That opens up the door for Johnny. Gonna Ragnarok and find.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Genetics, the
Emir is
first pick
so bad.
for Smokebreak. That opens the door. They walk right back to fire.
Like
It looks like Team Risk.
You cannot
They're gonna
compete
play
Emir with
safe and
Yamoja
simply
in that way.
concede
Like the mobility of
away.
Yamoja and the
Fire
peel,
Giant for
everything
Smokebreak
that he
in
has
23
is way better than
Emir.
Emir.
Talisman of Purification might not be.
Emir's kit needs to be updated.
I'm thinking
My
that
opinion.
it's a little bit different when you're building the way that Genetics is here. And certainly, he's got something cooked up for the late game, I'm sure. But the problem is that we're already in the
No,
late
no,
game
he's
lead.
gonna
And
keep
23
staying there.
and
He's
half
gonna be
minutes.
there
And this
until
Phoenix is
Isa
under-
graduates from
Aggressive
college
call
and
for
stuff.
Smokebreak. They
Don't
step
worry
into
about
the
him.
mid-Phoenix. They're
He'll
gonna
be
catch
fine.
Team
Let's
Risk
be
without Lasbra
let's be
here for the
positive.
moment. Phoenix down
That's
below
Sila for
half
me.
health. Doesn't need much more to
Yeah,
go down. This could be
he
the
needs the
perfect
beats.
opening for Smokebreak, or it could just be a slow burn.
Like
They
his
don't
ult
get
is
the
not,
Phoenix. They
it's
decide
not
to
really
step
helping
away.
him at all.
So,
Even though
I
you
mean,
may,
everything's
you're
looking
immune.
good. They got kills. They've got gold. Nurmi, what
Oh my
locks this
god,
down?
we're winning
At
good.
this point, it's going to have to be one more good pick. Johnny able to put pressure on this right-hand side, and at this
14K
point, the
lead.
1v1 is going to be what I'm looking at here between these junglers. Who is going to be able to keep this pressure on? And it really does seem like Johnny's winning that trade.
The Ragnarok gets answered. The escape is there.
No,
for
he's so
Smokebreak.
dead.
A lot of damage done to
Like, he's
Variety
getting one
and
shot.
Genetics.
That's crazy.
Genetics will have to back. Does get slowed, but the TKOs will matter. Mid Phoenix does still stand though.
It's on its
Team
last
Risk,
leg.
but yeah, I think that last leg just got broken too.
Oof, that is a tough barrier that is now
And
broken.
poor Lasbra can only split push now.
Breaking their way into the space.
If he
That's
goes
still
in,
an
he's
Ancient
dead.
Fury, that is debuffing this left-hand side Phoenix.
Oh,
Push in,
he's so dead.
pushing away and just utterly
Okay,
blown
let's just
up.
get out.
That's a big time pick for Team
Oh
Risk.
no,
Will they
oh
use this to make a
no,
play? They find another
oh
one.
no.
And Benko, Smokebreak just
Run.
kind of fell asleep at the wheel.
That's bad, that's bad,
rotating
that's
from
bad.
mid to left and lose 2 picks. I mean, I suppose grand scheme, not too detrimental, but that's a kind of thing you can't really afford to do in this situation. I mean, look at the lead that they've got. That should have been the time to close the door on this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do it quite yet. Does leave the door open, though, for Team Risk to start to get back into this.
I agree.
Still are waiting for that level 20 for the Kurnos. Does just hit it. And once we get the Sobek there, that's kind of all we're really expecting at this point. Once you get to the late game, supports kind of peter out at this part when it comes to the XP, but Genetics is swinging, and honestly, it's so funny. I'm sorry.
See, I noticed it before, too. It ruined,
go
a whole
on.
Pyromancer fight for me, because I was just looking at the attack speed.
It's a good time when Ymir gets to swing the big ol' mallet around and get some good damage.
Let's see it. We got a second before.
Oh, they're gonna defend that.
It's so funny. Okay, serious mode.
They're coming. They're coming. Oh, Barrett is so dead. Oh no.
Won't hit, but damage
Never mind.
done. There's a TKO onto the Sobek and a lot of damage onto the rest. Genetics will go down to the airstrike. Johnny will find variety in the back line. That could be the last straw.
He can die there though.
Smokebreak do regroup
Loki,
back.
Loki, or Loki.
Deep in the jungle.
He's gonna die.
May just fall to Benko, who's got the kit to do this. Streak tries to hang
on. Oh my god, I can't believe
Benko. Not enough.
He did it.
Save Streak, and Theeks will be the last one standing. And Smokebreak take out.
He has holding like 30 seconds, so he can still defend this if Andy doesn't heal them, but they're already healed.
Number 1.
It has been a crazy set thus far. Lots of plays from all angles.
Hey, what do you say, team? Oh, yeah, I think it's GG. He has ult in like 15. Oh yeah, he got ult right now.
The rebuke is
no,
there.
this is game. He didn't ult.
Already dead. The damage is already
done.
I
wasn't gonna help. Oh my god, they won this thing. They won this thing.
All around, so clean on these objectives. I mean,
Chat. If we finish this bracket and win it all, are we gonna see each other in Vegas or what?
Leon comes to land and Smokebreak just level up pretty instantaneously. They looked fantastic. The calls were so good, as you mentioned. The mechanics, too, just on display throughout. Benko with the big-time solo kill that feels like it started just this landslide of momentum for Smokebreak to bring down Team Risk. It wasn't the same.
This one was so clean. This game was way cleaner than the other one. They just needed one game to warm it up, and
I was wondering,
good to go.
The first, full set?
This team is so good.
And we didn't get that. But we got something different. I'm sure it feels great, but there's a million burning questions. I'm going to start with the one that Bobby mentioned. Sunbeam Bow, Amaterasu. That's crazy, and it worked. How long has that been in the oven ready to go?
Oh, I think Sunbeam Bow is pretty much the only item that makes auto-attack melee characters viable at all. It is the single best item spike in the game, I think. So, I mean, why not? You can literally kill anyone in like 5-6 swings, right?
Yeah, true.
I think they might have to check on that item, like the devs, you know?
Well, thankfully, Lermy was in the cast. I'm sure she was taking notes throughout it. Now, throughout the game, there was a lot of talk about your calls, because you guys were really on it with the calls, especially in game number 1, but in game 2 as well. So, take me through the comms. What was the vibe? Who was making the main calls around?
I mean, honestly, everybody was very, very vocal. Everybody was super locked in. I think me, ELLEON, Sap, we were usually like the guys around, you know, how we want to play objectives and how we want to play the map. Johnny's been locked in on pushing every single wave possible, you know, to apply pressure on the map through waves. So I don't know, everybody was just very vocal. I'm very happy with how Andy played and communicated. I'm actually like,
yeah, and on very short notice too, which makes it even more kind of impressive to get in like that. And that's a great way to start your week off, right? Number 1 seed, you guys take them down. How are you guys feeling going forward now? Does this shoot your confidence up for the rest of the land?
Of course, I mean, let's be real though, nobody beats Smokebreak 6 times in a row. I mean, come on. Come on.
Funny because we had a counter back there on the whiteboard. But no, congratulations and great job. I'm really excited to see what you guys do for the rest of the land going forward and feel good about it.
Man, crazy.
What'd you guys?
I was just saying great.
Sorry, I spaced out completely.
You're okay.
I mean, I'm
that's me, bro.
Big win. It gets right to the head. Keep it mentally. You still got a lot of games left to go this week.
Yeah,
thanks for talking.
After this, we just go hit the bar, you know.
It's earned. It's earned. Sunbeam Bow at the bar.
I really like him. He's so real.
That does kind of sound like a cocktail name, right?
Right? See, I can cook too. All right.
I'll see what happens. Or do I just
all right, Des. Before we get too crazy, I'm gonna send it back over to you.
Hello, you're on speaker.
What's up, TT?
We're here with the chat doing a final interview.
The final interview?
The final interview. Higa's here, Raymond's here, Hoodie's here. A lot of people are here. You saying hi. The GOAT.
all my boys. Tell them I'm gonna win Vegas and then take a breather.
He said it, chat. He said it here now, right now. Oh my god. No, I'm so happy, so proud of you guys. You guys are insane.
Yeah, we played like out of our minds because we alright, so you guys want to hear a funny story? So last night we know this team is the best team. They beat this team in scrims like 20 times to 1. Like they've never won versus them. And so we were like, oh, we're gonna get probably 0-2'd, and then we were doing drafts for a long time, like writing notes after notes. And like we lost in picks and bans without playing the game. Like we literally would do picks and bans on a little notebook and be like, oh, they won. And then I don't know, we came out and played out of our minds, to be honest.
No, yeah, it was literally, you guys look like you've been playing forever together and just clean. The second one was clean. Really clean.
The second one, it felt like we're like just, I don't know, so clean. Like I've never played so clean with a team before.
I know, right? It was really smooth. Everybody was doing their part. Everybody was doing crazy. A ver,
Yeah,
Pierre is saying, tell him how does it feel to get that call last minute to fly down there.
I mean, really, like, so I get that call, and then, because I was thinking about playing the Marvel Rivals tournament, I get the call, and I'm like, that fucking Deathwalker, Johnny, like, that team is such insane players, like, so much respect. I was like, you know what, I want to do it. And so then they tell me that Silence is coming back, so then I leave the airport, go back home, and then they're like, no, Silence cannot make it, and we want you for this team for going on for Vegas. And then I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And then, I think beating this team is like, I mean, they were the best team. And so we're just in a great spot right now. I think we can win Vegas, and then I come back and, we'll see what happens.
Okay, there's one more question that it says, it's a little bit kinky though.
What?
How does it feel to be kicked and then now be in LAN with the team you're on?
How does it feel to be kicked? I mean, it feels great.
That's all I'm saying.
So I'll tell them, I love you, Chad. I love you guys. It's always a pleasure to have you guys watching me play Smite. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being a part of the community for so long. I really thought last year was going to be my last, Smite tournament. But, somehow we always end up back here again. So, like I said, thank you. Love you, Pierre. Love you, Higa, Dre, all the homies in chat. Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
Dale, Titi. I'll call you later. Much love. Peace. Bye. You hear her first. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming all games that they're gonna be playing. So they play tomorrow and Sunday. So we're gonna be here. We're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be watching. So buy some thingies, buy some snacks. We're gonna be here for a good bit. Thank you so much, chat. You guys are so cute.